Have you ever wondered what would happen if your computer was held hostage? A chilling thought, isn't it? Well, allow me to introduce you to a menacing digital villain called ransomware. It's a type of malware, a malicious software that infiltrates your computer without your knowledge, locks you out, and holds your data hostage. Suddenly, your precious photos, important documents, even your entire system are out of your reach. The attacker then demands a ransom, typically in the form of untraceable cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Only when you pay up, they promise, will you regain access to your hostage data. It's a form of cyber extortion, a digital stick-up, if you will. And if you think this is just a minor inconvenience, think again. These attacks can paralyze businesses, disrupt public services, and cost millions to resolve. Now imagine this on a global scale, affecting millions. Welcome to the world of the WannaCry ransomware attack. It all began in May 2017. That's when the world was introduced to a new kind of cyber threat, one that would go on to infect more than 200,000 computers across 150 countries. This was the genesis of WannaCry, a ransomware that exploited a weak spot in Microsoft Windows, holding data hostage and demanding ransom payments in Bitcoin. Now let's delve deeper into the origin of WannaCry. This ransomware didn't just appear out of thin air. No, it was the result of a carefully orchestrated attack that took advantage of a vulnerability in Microsoft Windows, a vulnerability that was originally discovered by none other than the National Security Agency, or NSA. The NSA, as part of their mission to protect the United States, routinely searches for and studies software vulnerabilities. In this case, they found a weak spot in Microsoft Windows, a chink in the armor, if you will, that they called Eternal Blue. This vulnerability could be exploited to allow unauthorized access and control over a computer system. Now here's where the plot thickens. This information, the details about the Eternal Blue vulnerability, were leaked by a mysterious hacker group known as the Shadow Brokers. This group, whose identity remains unknown, released the information to the public in April 2017, a move that set the stage for the WannaCry attack. Armed with this information, the creators of WannaCry were able to develop a ransomware that could exploit this vulnerability. The ransomware would infiltrate the system, encrypt the user's data, and then demand a ransom in Bitcoin to unlock it. And so, WannaCry was born, a cyber threat like no other, capable of causing widespread damage and chaos. What started as a tool for national security turned into a weapon in the hands of cyber criminals. A vulnerability meant to be a secret was laid bare for all to exploit. And exploit they did, leading to one of the most devastating cyber attacks in history. Just like that, a cyber weapon turned into a global nightmare. Once unleashed, WannaCry spread like wildfire. A wildfire that was fueled by a powerful exploit known as Eternal Blue. This exploit, originally developed by the United States National Security Agency, was like a master key capable of unlocking the doors to countless computers running Microsoft Windows around the world. WannaCry didn't just use this master key to enter the systems, it used it to spread, to multiply, to reproduce. And it did this using a technique known as a wormable exploit. Now, what does this mean? Think of it as a parasite. A parasite doesn't need the host to do anything to click a link or download a file. It just needs a way in. And once it's in, it can move from host to host, from system to system, all on its own. This is exactly what WannaCry did. It wormed its way in, and then it spread without needing any help, any interaction from the users. You see, most malware relies on tricking the user into doing something, clicking a link, downloading a file, opening an email. But WannaCry, it didn't need to trick anyone. It just needed a way in, and Eternal Blue was that way. Once inside, it could spread from computer to computer, from network to network, all on its own. And spread it did. Across offices, hospitals, schools, across entire cities and countries. It was relentless, unstoppable, like a wildfire consuming everything in its path. It moved with a speed and a ferocity that was unparalleled, unprecedented. In less than a week it had spread across the globe, infecting computers in every corner of the world. In just a few days it had infected over 200,000 computers across 150 countries. A digital wildfire fueled by a master key and propelled by a wormable exploit. That was the spread of WannaCry. The impact was catastrophic and far-reaching. When WannaCry struck, it did not discriminate. It crippled sectors across the globe, causing havoc in its wake. In the healthcare sector, the National Health Service in the United Kingdom was hit hard. Vital medical services were disrupted, operations cancelled, and patient records became inaccessible. Imagine the panic of patients, the frustration of medical staff, and the chaos in the hospitals. The ransomware did not just affect computers, it affected lives. Transportation too was not spared. WannaCry seized control of digital systems, causing unprecedented disruption. Train stations in Germany displayed ransom messages instead of departure and arrival times. In China, petrol stations could not process payments, leaving drivers stranded. The ripple effect was felt by millions of commuters, disrupting their everyday lives. In the telecommunications sector, companies like Telefónica in Spain were hit. The ransomware infiltrated their networks, causing internal communication breakdowns. In a sector where communication is the lifeblood, the impact was paralyzing. The manufacturing industry, the backbone of many economies, was also a victim. Production lines in factories were halted. From car manufacturers in France to tech companies in Taiwan, the impact was global. The damage ran into billions. But it wasn't just about the financial loss. The real cost was in the disruption of essential services, the breach of trust. Millions of people depend on these sectors for their daily needs, their livelihoods, their safety. They trust these sectors with their information, their money, their lives. When WannaCry struck, it shook that trust to its core. The ransomware did not just take control of computers, it took control of our lives for a time, causing fear, confusion, and a sense of helplessness. It was a stark reminder of our vulnerability in this digital age. But it was also a wake-up call, a call to action, a call for better cybersecurity. It wasn't just about the money, it was about the disruption of essential services and the breach of trust. The world watched in horror, but it also learned valuable lessons. The WannaCry ransomware attack was a wake-up call, a stark reminder of our digital vulnerability. Yet, amidst the chaos, there was a glimmer of hope, a beacon of resilience. A British cybersecurity researcher discovered, quite by accident, a kill switch embedded within the malicious code. It was as if the creators of WannaCry had left behind a self-destruct button, a fail-safe that could halt the spread of the ransomware. This discovery was a turning point in the fight against WannaCry, significantly slowing down its spread and giving beleaguered systems a much-needed respite. But why did it take a global crisis for us to understand the importance of cyber hygiene? The answer lies in complacency. Many of the affected systems were running outdated software, unpatched and vulnerable. Regular software updates are not just about adding new features or improving performance. They often contain critical security patches that can protect against known threats. Ignoring these updates is akin to leaving your front door unlocked in a crime-ridden neighborhood. A robust backup system is another crucial line of defense against ransomware attacks. By regularly backing up important data, one can mitigate the damage caused by such attacks. If your system is compromised, you can wipe it clean and restore from a backup, effectively nullifying the threat. Lastly, cybersecurity awareness is paramount. We need to understand that in this digital age, anyone can be a target. From individuals to multinational corporations, no one is immune. We must educate ourselves and others about the dangers of clicking on suspicious links or opening unknown attachments. In the end, the WannaCry attack was a harsh lesson in the importance of cyber vigilance. It forced us to take a hard look at our digital practices and make necessary changes. While the threat of WannaCry has subsided, the lessons it taught us about our digital vulnerability remain relevant. It's been a journey into one of the darkest episodes of cyber history. We've traversed the murky origins of WannaCry, a ransomware that held the world hostage, affecting more than 200,000 computers across 150 countries. We followed its relentless spread, a digital wildfire that left no corner of the globe untouched. We evaluated the profound impact, the crippling of systems, and the chaos that ensued. In the aftermath, we discovered the importance of preventive measures and the role of timely system updates in warding off such threats. This episode serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities inherent in our digital age. The WannaCry attack underscores the importance of robust cybersecurity measures and constant vigilance. In the realm of cybersecurity, vigilance is our strongest weapon. Stay safe, stay updated, and remember, the digital world is only as secure as we make it.